gorgeous people, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so very much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will stick around and join us in today's topic of discussion. We are talking about the Tati Westbrook lawsuit against Without a Crystal Ball. You guys, there is a couple of updates in this lawsuit and I found them extremely interesting, so I had to share them with you. The first one we're going to be talking about today is the latest filing from Katie's side. And y'all, this is just, it's too much. Throughout this lawsuit, there has been tons of declarations, but there is two in particular that really makes this lawsuit stand out. That is, of course, the Natalie Kennett declaration and the Lori Ann declaration. If you guys remember correctly, both of these declarations from Natalie Kennett and Lori Ann had some pretty strong accusations against Miss Polson and Mr. Brown, her legal attorney. Now, Katie Joy is demanding reimbursement from the Westbrooks and their legal team for having to respond to those declarations. Why in the world would she think that Tati Westbrook owes her money? We're gonna get into it. This is how I'm showing. This particular document broke down in full detail, I would highly recommend going and checking out True Slueth's latest video on this whole situation. True Slueth does an incredible job breaking down this latest filing and giving you guys all the tea. What I'm going to be doing is giving you guys the most simplified version of this filing and letting you know exactly what it is Katie Joy is asking for. In Lori Ann's declaration, she alleges that Mr. Brown, which is Katie Joy's attorney, actually tried to pressure her into filing a state bar complaint against Mr. Saltz, which is Tati Westbrook's lawyer. Lori Ann says that she refused to do so and that Mr. Saltz never harassed her, and she put all of this within her declaration. On top of this huge accusation against Mr. Brown, Lori Ann also put in some pretty strong accusations against Katie Joy, saying that Katie actually had her and tons of other Without a Crystal Ball supporters to go and mass flag other channels. Lori Ann alleges that she did this in hopes that these other channels that she did not like would actually get deplatformed. And that is a huge accusation. Moving on to Nat's declaration, you guys, this was a more serious declaration altogether. There were some very disgusting things happening on Twitter and just social media in general because of this lawsuit. And in Nat's declaration, a lot of it was being alleged that Katie was behind it or that Katie had something to do with it, whether it was provoking her supporters to go out and defend her honor or the fact that Katie Joy just would not keep quiet. Either way, it does not matter. At the end of the day, in that declaration, there was a lot of really serious accusations and a lot of really just disgusting things were said in general. And now Katie Joy and her attorney are trying to say that all of this information is irrelevant to the lawsuit and untruthful. In this latest filing, Mr. Brown does share receipts and emails between him and Lori Ann showing that a lot of the things that Lori Ann said in that declaration were not true. When it comes to the Nat situation, Katie says this conversation that happened between her and Natalie and the screenshots that she shared within her declaration are false screenshots. These are fake and or dupes, and that she never said these things. She also does share the original screenshot within all of this. And because of that, once again, they are saying that Nat's declaration also holds information that is irrelevant to the lawsuit and untruthful once again. Because of that, Katie and her legal team are asking the Westbrooks and their legal team to reimburse them for the money they had to put into responding to those declarations. The money that Katie and her legal team spent on these two declarations alone was almost $20,000. Now the question throughout all this is the court's gonna actually grant Katie and her legal team's wishes? I don't think so, you guys. I really feel like this is just yet another petty response, a petty filing that has nothing to do with the lawsuit. And if I had a dime for every single filing that's been put into this lawsuit that has been not only petty and irrelevant, but just a waste of time, you guys, I would be rich by now. That did not stop Mr. Brown and Katie Joy from trying. They put this filing in. We will, of course, stay up to date with what is going on with that, and I will let you guys know what happens with it. But in my personal opinion, I don't think much is going to come from it. This is just speculation, but you guys, almost $20,000 for just two declarations. That is insane. I can only imagine how much they have already spent, and this lawsuit hasn't really even picked up and went running yet. Like, we're still in the beginning stages of this lawsuit. So I can only imagine it's getting to this point where not only is Katie running low on money, but her lawyer has to be paid in order to continue representing her. So I think that this may be a situation where her lawyer is like, hey, look, I need this money. We're going to try to see if we can't get reimbursed. I got to get paid. I need this money. And I do feel like Katie may be running low on money or starting to run low on money. I do not think that the courts are going to grant this because there's definitely an argument to be had there that the Westbrooks could also do the exact same thing and say, hey, do you know how much money we've stuck in on responding to all of your irrelevant stuff? This is definitely a back and forth situation. Katie is definitely not innocent when it comes to the fact that she herself and her attorney have put in declarations and filings that were also irrelevant and not completely truthful as well. Speaking about Nat, though, you guys, we do have some new information on her. An anonymous person actually came forth and shared a lot of information. Now, I'm going to share this with you guys, and you can gather your own thoughts and opinions on what you think, but this is definitely extremely fishy. So this is what this anonymous person posted. I have followed this story since the beginning and I'm scared to say what I found. I have to though. I need other people to see what I have seen. I've tried to wait this out, but I can't wait because it seems people are scared to talk. Hell, even I'm scared to talk. I'm asking you to watch all of this and not just believe the person. We have come to a day and age where the victim is always right. Always. Because of this new social justice thought process of the victim always being right, it opens the door for more people to take advantage of the logic. Making it so that people are scared to question the victim. Sometimes even innocent people end up getting hurt. They are the real victims. What if I told you that Nat is not the victim? Most of you would not even listen to the reasoning behind that statement. Most of you would hang me up before I even had a chance to explain why I believe that. That is the reason I need to speak up. I need all of you to know the truth must always come first. The truth matters most, even if this works in Katie Joy's favor. I believe that is another reason why people are scared to question this. On Twitter, I've seen people believe things that are likely not true, just so that they can throw another rock at Katie Joy. Katie deserves all of this, I believe. I also believe she doesn't deserve blaming in areas that aren't her own. I also believe that by saying what I'm about to say, people will write me off before they look at facts just because of the simple fact they do not want this to be true. They'd rather sit on a lie that hurts Katie than stand up with the truth just to spite her. What if I told you Nat was pulling all of these strings? A few weeks ago, I asked Nat for her Instagram. She gave it to me. My request sat there for a long time. I had to remind her. I saw some things that made me scratch my head, so I screenshotted them. I was only able to grab some because something strange happened. After only a few minutes of being a new follower of Nat's, my account became compromised. I've had Instagram for 10 plus years. And that's never happened before. I'm convinced that Nat didn't want me looking around for long. When I show you what I found, you will see why that might be. Then she shares this screenshot from Natalie's account of Natalie having a tablet. And the caption says, "It's arrived. So happy. Never been able to buy a tablet brand new before. Fantastic price and specifications. Happy, happy, happy." And this was posted on July 31st, 2020. After that screenshot, she shares this screenshot, which I'm assuming this is a photo of Natalie's hand. And you guys can read the caption there. It says, "A few days ago, I was arrested on suspicion of my own daughter, handcuffed like a criminal whilst my home was searched for an apparent arm. 4 false reports made to the NSPCC and police that I'd my own baby. Don't know who's responsible, although I have a fairly good idea. Police are investigating the originating reports, and God help the person responsible of bringing my daughter into this disgusting claims. I will be pressing charges." This anonymous person shared even more screenshots that alleges that Natalie actually has DID and has numerous different alters. She says, "I'm so upset. I went to bed exhausted at around 7 p.m. in my bed. I woke up at 11 a.m.-ish outside on my balcony, freezing cold. I'm host or the alter that is out a lot more than others. We have a private YouTube channel just for us all to talk and express ourselves on, which has been helping. But tonight, after having zero memory of how I ended up on my balcony, I watched it and found 14 small recordings. Some are really nasty. I have cried so much. I just don't know how to make peace with my altar. And then it goes on, as you can see here, explaining what he looks like and things like that. She says that this particular altar seems to be constantly angry and she doesn't know how to speak to that particular part of herself, and it's scaring her so much that she's scared of her own body. She ends this message by saying, broken children make broken adults. I effing hate the people that made me this way. This anonymous person's argument is that there is a very good possibility that this Nat girl was behind a lot of these Twitter messages that were sent to her. Katie had pointed out a couple of different vocabulary mistakes that were very repetitive to what this Nat girl does. We have this anonymous person coming forward with all of these screenshots, all of this stuff that shows that Nat actually does have DID, and this is something she struggles with. And there has been situations where Nat has done things that she doesn't remember. So this is definitely going to come into play with Nat's declaration. I have so many questions about all of this. Number one, who is this anonymous person that got all this information? Is there a possibility that this is also another one of Nat's altars? This, you guys, the twists and turns in this lawsuit and the people involved in this lawsuit, it's out of control. It is so much. That is it for this very crazy video, you guys. Please, please, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I have to hear what you guys have to say about all this. Also, if you want to stay in the loop with everything going on in the drama world, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell for post notifications. That way you are notified every single time I upload. I appreciate you guys too, the moon and stars. And until the next time, bye.